Hey, honey, I'm about to be in a class. Just heads up. Just no. Woo, man, did I time that perfectly or what? That was right on the dot 11 that song ends, and that song is a banger, right? I'm telling you, that's one of the best songs ever made.
I like your video screen.
Thank you very much, George. I appreciate that. How are you doing this afternoon, sir? Or afternoon, I guess morning.
I am doing fantastic. I hope you're doing well.
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Doing good, doing good.
My
shoulder's feeling a lot better than it was yesterday. I was telling you.
I was going to say, is your shoulder, are you able to move around or work or anything?
I am able to function today. I'm very, very happy. That's how I've been phrasing it. How are you doing? I'm functioning.
wait till you get to be in your 60s.
Don't tell me that, George.
And things. I've stepped off a chair trying to swat a fly and pulled a muscle in my calf, and I've been icing it for a week now, and I still can barely walk.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
it takes a while for you to recover. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah. This one I've been told it's gonna be a while for this one to go away. But hey, it is what it is. I like to say worse things have happened to better people. You know. That's how I like to view it.
That's sweet of you to say that.
It's amazing what you take for granted, though, right? I mean, it was
true.
Yeah, like the moment I woke up last Thursday and I couldn't do anything, I was like, wow, okay, yeah. This is not something that I'm just granted. I have to. I don't just have an arm. All right, so we are right here, 11:02 on the dot. Thank you so much. I know we got some people watching live on Facebook as well. If you're on Facebook and you would like to be a part of the Zoom link is in the description of the post and to the comment section. Feel free to come on down. My classes, as always, if you're in the Zoom, fully participatory. If you feel I'm going too fast or if you want to ask a question, feel free to interrupt me at any time. But today, we are going to be going over designs inside of Command. And this is probably one of my favorite classes to teach because it's just so much fun. How's everybody doing out there?
I'm fine. Up.
Thumbs up. Binta, how are you? Thumbs up. You're muted there. I can't hear you. Feel free to remain unmuted if you'd like.
No wonder I was talking and nobody was answering. Well,
yes.
Hey everyone. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Feel free to leave your mics unmuted if you'd like, guys. Unless there's like some background noise, I'll pick up on that and I'll mute you for you. No worries, no worries. So today, Command designs. So we are going to be really just in one section of Command today, which is going to be this design section here. And I'm going to move this little guy right here because I'm going to try to annotate a little bit today. It's going to be fun. We're going to do a couple things like, hey, look at the screen. I'm going to click this button and that button and all that good stuff. But we are going to be focusing just on this guy right here today, our designs button.
I've got a great plan. I don't need anything. Thank you.
George, what's the plan?
I had somebody I've got somebody from Franklin trying to sell me Medicare insurance, and I've already got good Medicare insurance. Sorry.
No, you're fine. All right.
I get about 5 spam calls a day now, so
Oh yeah, they never end, man. They never end. Once you answer one of them, it's a landslide after that.
Well, okay. Honestly, I thought it was Foundation Title calling, telling me to come pick up the check from the closing, but it wasn't.
It was not today. Not today. Okay, so I have gotten to this screen. Can everybody see what's on my screen? Are you guys able to see? Okay. Yes. Any technical difficulties? Yes. All right. So feel free to follow along with me here. You can put my screen in a window if needed, or if you have a 2-monitor setup, that's usually going to be your best route to follow along. But if you don't, you can feel free to put me in a window. But I have clicked on the Designs button inside of Command, and this is where it has taken me. And I'm going to start off by saying I don't pay a whole lot of attention to what exactly is on this screen because these are all designs that I have made inside the design platform that's embedded in Command. And I find that getting to that platform is usually going to yield me some better results. So if you are on your screen and you're at the same spot, you might see some designs in here already, or it'll be just completely empty because you haven't made your first one yet. This is just a list of all the things that you've clicked on in there and opened up and started, and you got them all right in here. And you can quickly go into and rename, make a copy, or delete, or you just click right on it and get right into the platform. You can filter them down by if they're an email design, a landing page design, social design, print, agent sites, videos. I mean, everything that you would ever design, I suppose, will be located in here, right? Now, I want to get us going on making our first design and kind of talking about what's in this platform, because there are absolutely tons of templates that are there for you for pretty much any and all things. I like to call this section graphic design for dummies, because you know what? I'm an absolute dummy when it comes to graphic design, but I still have a need to come up with and advertise with good looking marketing for my real estate needs, right? And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to focus this on over here in this little plus sign at the bottom right of that screen, right? This is where we go to create a new design, right? When we want to start something. I'm going to click that button and I have several options available to me, right? Now, what's interesting about this particular app is depending on what you pick here, it's really going to be a very different experience. I'm going to focus today around what's in social and print, because this is going to take us into the new design platform that we have out there. So if I want to make a print piece, say like a postcard, a flyer, what's the little door hanger? There we go, door hanger. I would go to the print section, or if I want to make something for my social media, I can go to the social section. And I'm going to start today inside of these social sections. I'm going to click on that and make sure that's selected. Note that you can also import photos and text from a listing. That's something that we're going to turn around and do a little bit later today. For right now, we're going to keep it simple and just move right in. Sound good?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So now the design platform is loading up now that I've decided I want to make a social post, and I'm inside of what I really call designs proper, right? So this is where I like to be when I'm ready to start designing. I am in the social side of it. So everything I'm going to see here are things and designs that I can put on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, just depends on the section, right? First thing I want to point out is what's over here on the left-hand side. And these are all, I like to use the word genre, right? So just different needs of what I might be making. So by default, it starts with the top where I'm looking at my app. So I'm seeing designs that are meant to, or are templates for designing something that advertises my mobile app, my mobile consumer experience app that are in here. But there are other sections, right? So under listings, I have for sale, just listed, price updates, neighborhood snaps. And as you can see here, all kinds of good stuff, right? And then I'm just going to stop on neighborhood snaps for a second and just kind of look in here. So here's some designs here, and then I see these little buttons up top, right? So this is for the different platforms, because Facebook and Instagram stories, LinkedIn, Twitter, they all have different frames for how their images appear in the feeds on those platforms, certain sizes, right? Facebook's a little more rectangular. Instagram's a little more square and tall. Instagram stories is like a full screen phone experience, so it looks like it would fit more into a phone. But we're seeing all the same or similar designs and templates, just formatted for the different platforms that you might be posting to, right? We also have some for open houses, under contract, just sold, local expert, which is great for if you want to do some statistics and things of that nature. Buyer neighborhood, I think these are the same. Oh, no, they're not. They're different. Okay. Buyer neighborhood snaps versus listing neighborhood snaps, right? Keller Mortgage stuff. Love this. Lead generation. Maybe you want to advertise your website. Ooh-wee. And also bear in mind that these designs work really well when you're doing ads on Facebook as well, right? So be thinking about that, not just your posts, but also what can we do to make advertisements. So if I come here to Facebook, these will fit really well in the Facebook advertisements as well as a Facebook post, right? Home value, holiday greetings. I mean, look at all this stuff. So really it's meant to be that solution where, hey, you know what? We're real estate people. We are not graphic designers, and I'm not hiring one. I don't need one. I can come in here and quickly and easily make something and just get myself on a roll. So I want to open up to the class real quick. What would be a good design, or what's something that you're thinking of making soon? Oh, even email signatures. How about that, huh? Social branding. And then things for leadership, recognition, new designs. They're also, oh, I should point this out, new designs. They are constantly putting in new templates all the time. So if you come down here to this new design section, you'll see the newest ones that they have come up with for you. Dorch, I'm going to start with you. What kind of design are you trying to make today?
We need to do a new listing design for a listing. We've got it under, it's coming soon right now, but we're going to make it live on May 1st.
Ooh,
and
fun.
and it's going to be about 929,000.
So we're going to do it just listed.
Yeah, let's do it. That sounds good to me.
Christopher, does that sound good to you, bud? Just listed?
You can do anything to me.
We can do a few of them. It's going to be fun. I'm gonna go ahead and start with just listed because I feel like everybody seems fine with that. So let's go.
Yeah, let's do that. That's great. Thank you.
I want to make sure, Mickey, can you hear me? Okay, you've been muted with your camera off. I just want to make sure if you were there or not.
Okay.
I'm here. Everything's good. I'm just kind of following along. I've got background noise, so.
Gotcha. Cool. Just want to check in on you.
Okay, I'm here.
Awesome. All right. So just listed's going to be in that listing subsection up here. And it's going to be in here, the just listed section, and we'll do one for Facebook here in a second. But before I open up my first design, I do want to take us through this little button right here in the top right that says library, right? This is going to be really useful for us. This is going to save us a lot of time in the long run if we go ahead and just fill this out properly the first time. My light is not, I keep looking like I'm in a dark room. Does that look better now? Okay, I think so. All right.
I just like what's going on behind you.
It's fun.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of fun here. All right. So I'm going to click on library, and it's going to pop right up. You should see something pretty similar. So this is going to pull a lot of information already from your marketing profile in Command. That's why I didn't take us there today, just because, hey, we're going to really predominantly focus on what's here in designs. So you're going to see things like your name, your company, your email. Fill all of this in. I'm going to give us all just a little bit of a second to make sure we can get that done together. Let me know. Give me a whoop whoop if you've already gotten this filled out here.
I have not.
All right. Did you want to take the time to go ahead and fill it in? It's going to be useful for us.
Okay. Well, actually, okay, let me go back to my own command.
Oh, sure. You haven't been following along? Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
Yes.
gotcha.
I was just, yeah.
Sure. Email, website, address, right? And then text, pretty straightforward. You got a tagline, right? And a slogan and a vision. These are things that you might be using quite often. So I'm going to pretend I'm Dorch for a second. Dorch's tagline is selling that house all the time, never stops. All right, that's Dorch's tagline, right? His slogan, we'll say Dorch's slogan is, Dorch, what's a good slogan? What's a good slogan?
What's a good slogan for me?
Yeah, I thought I could come up with something, but my brain is not working.
I don't know. I've got somebody sitting outside my house bringing something. I don't know what
All right,
is.
someone is outside.
Someone is outside my house that I don't recognize.
That is
and
Dorch's
I sent my
slogan.
wife out to talk to her.
So the idea here, what I want to get across is, like, if you have a tagline or a slogan and a vision of these kinds of things that you've got as part of your business, you can plug that in here.
Okay, well, I know that's on my car. So in other words, we can plug that in there, and then it'll bring it up automatically every time. And
we'll have
stick it in the right
access to
place.
that. Exactly. We'll be able to put it and use it and put it in the places we want it to be. Vision. I don't know who is outside my house.
How do you get on it in there?
So plus, and we went to social. Okay, next.
Oh, by the way, that was trash bags and coffee from Amazon that we ordered this morning getting delivered. So
That's fast.
this Prime is not bad.
I ordered an hour ago.
Oh,
All right. So details and text, these are things essentially, they're both text really, because if you think about it, this is all text information here that we're putting in our library so that when we go to make a design of something, we'll have quick access to those things, be able to properly plug them into where we want to put them at.
mhm,
The next spot's going to be images,
okay.
right? And here,
I was going to say, are those our images or images for like the house we're going to list?
this would be images that you are going to use universally, right?
Okay.
So I wouldn't put a particular house in here, but your headshot, Carol's headshot, maybe a headshot of both of you. You do have 4 places where you can put images in. So think about different headshots that you might want to use on that, and that's a pretty good idea. Note that this is not where you would put logos, right? Don't put logos in images. There actually is a section we're going to get to next that's logos, very similar.
You have to look for this app that came in.
I'm going to give everybody a second.
So
Yeah, whatever it is, you have to find that KW that's going on KW today. You shouldn't have. It's so slow, I can't even get command design.
I really.
We'll have to go through all this.
All right. How we doing, guys? We got our text in, basic headshots. Binta's giving me a thumbs up.
I have to find my basic. I don't have anything on this computer I'm using because
Okay,
my big computer doesn't have a camera, so
sure thing.
I can't converse or you can't see my lovely face. I probably should put Carol over here. It'd be much better to look at.
we would all appreciate that, George.
That was that one.
Here, Carol. Everybody said they appreciate you being.
Okay. Hey.
Hey, Carol. How are you? All right. So I'm going to move into the logo section now. So this is where you would put some logos.
Okay.
I would highly recommend, and we're going to go ahead. Does everybody here have the logo pack for our DBA logos?
No.
No, can we do that?
Yeah, I think we do. And
Let's
aren't
do
they
it.
on the web? Aren't they on the Facebook page or in our website?
They're on kbconnect.com.
Okay.
And here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to go ahead and download the pack for you. I'm going to put it in the chat so you can just have it.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
So I am putting that logo pack inside of the Zoom chat. It just uploaded, so you guys should see that on your end now.
Yep.
Go ahead and download that pack. It is a zip file.
Mm-hmm.
I would highly recommend that you put it not in your downloads folder or on your desktop. Hey,
Okay.
let's put it in our documents somewhere. Maybe a folder that we call our logos or whatever, or something like that. I'm going into videos just because this is kind of where I put all my marketing stuff.
Okay, so not in documents, you said?
It's up to you wherever you want to put it. Just somewhere where you're going to remember it.
Okay,
Right.
I remember it.
Yeah, that way you're not
Download.
constantly, every time you want to do a design, going, oh, where are my logos at? Right? Got to go download it again. Right.
So I can download it to the desktop and then move it where I want it to go. Right.
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah, I put it in both my downloads and my documents.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to open this bad boy up.
Mhm.
I see several packs in here.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. So the ones I recommend, we're going to be looking for these PNG files, right? Because in this pack, there's actually a ton of things that we don't necessarily need, right? It covers every need that we have. One of them will look like it's just straight up white. You guys see that here?
Mm-hmm.
And on your end, when you open it, it might look completely white because I got dark mode on in Windows, so we can see the white lettering. But that's white lettering on a clear background. Very useful for when we want to put a logo over a solid color, right? Because if we had the design that had red and we put, let's say, I had the one I want to use. Let's try. So let's say we had a background of solid red and I throw this logo on top of it. Well, that red's not going to look very good, is it? Because it's red on red. That wouldn't be great. So I like to put a couple of editions of this logo in there, one being that regular RGB. It's got red, it's got white, like that. I like the one with just the white lettering. And then I think there's another one that is all very dark. Like that one's like a dark gray.
So we want the PNG files, right?
The PNG files are the ones that you're going to want to use. Absolutely.
Okay.
Do not
Thank
use the
you.
JPEG ones. And the reason why that is because if I have a JPEG file, you guys see how there's that white,
Yeah.
right? So that white doesn't leave. If I put this over a solid color, it'll be a logo inside a white box inside of a color. It looks really goofy and very tacky, right? So that's why I don't like to use the JPEG files. PNG is a format that supports the ability for there to be transparency, right? So there's no white box around this. It's just that image there, and then whatever's behind this will show through. That's why we don't want to use JPEGs. So we can add one. I'm going to do so now. I'm going to hit this button right here, and it's going to pull up, okay, where are we going? I'm like, okay, I'm going in, where did I put it? I was just talking about making sure you put it somewhere you don't lose
Yes.
It's lost.
It's in
I
outer
didn't.
space.
I didn't extract it. That's the reason why. Well, make the path. All right. So I'm going to click this button here. And I'm going to go to where I've got my logos, right? And for this one, I'm going to pick the darker one because that's the only one I don't have, right? So you would start with whichever one you'd want to. But I'm going to go, okay, I see here that this is the one that's a little bit darker. It's got the black. This is the PNG. We're all set to go. I'm going to, and I can't see because I got all these. There we go. Open. And then now, boom, it's right there for me. And it may look a little blurry. That's okay because of the way this is framed up. The right file is there. We're all good.
Okay.
And you'll know if you did the white lettering one right because this right here is actually that logo that has the white lettering. You just can't tell because it's white on white.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know you did it right if you got one of those in there.
Okay.
And then maybe you have a logo for yourself. Like I know Carolyn Dortch, I think you guys have a logo, don't you?
We do. I think.
Yeah, but I don't know where it is.
I love how they both looked at each other first before answering that question.
They're
We need
so
to go-
lovely.
We use several later.
It's somewhere in a document file someplace.
We won't use it today because we can't find it.
Sounds about right. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to just kind of locate that. Let me know when you've got at least one in there and you're ready to move on. You can give me a thumbs up or
Hey,
a thumbs
Evan.
down. Hey, Chris.
Hey, man. I'm on two computers here because my double screen's down right now.
Sure.
Can you show me how to get where you pulled those photos from? Actual get, because my Zoom is on a separate computer than I'm working on right now.
Okay, sure. So I went to kbconnect.com. Did you get there?
Almost.
All right. One moment.
Okay. I'm with you.
All right. I'm going to hover my mouse over resources. I'm going to come down to marketing.
Okay.
And when I get here, I'm just going to click that first big square, logos and branding.
All right.
And then from here, this is where it's a little tricky. You're going to come down just a wee bit to where you see this Market Center logo section, and there will be a little search bar. And you can put our Market Center number in. Does anybody know what our number is?
493.
493. Boom.
493. Okay.
493. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, hi, Kim. I just noticed you were here. And then when you get to this part, you type in 493, you'll see it right there, Nashville Green Hills. Hit the download button, and that will get you that file.
Thank you.
It
Appreciate
is in a
it.
zip folder, so you will need to uncompress it. But
Okay.
Hi, Evan.
hello, Kim.
It only takes me 43 seconds to unmute. Sorry.
You got it. All right. So back into designs.
Mhm.
I got my logos and I'm all good. Now, brand kit is really useful, guys, but I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time on this today because I don't think a lot of us have got a brand kit. But if you've worked with a designer in the past for like a marketing brand kit, you're able to put your own custom colors and your own custom fonts in here. And you can reuse those inside your designs in here so you can stay true to whatever your branding theme is. If all of that made no sense to you, then don't worry about it. It's not required at all. It's just very useful if you've got a brand kit of some kind, right? And you would know if you did.
Because mine says set up your brand kit. It doesn't
Yes.
seem like I've set mine up yet. So
Yeah, and that's fine. When I say if you've already got a brand kit, like you would have
Right.
done that, you would have gotten that from someone. Like you would have
Oh,
hired
okay.
someone to develop a brand
okay.
kit or a brand identity, right?
Okay.
So if you've got that, this is where you could plug that information in for
Okay.
use inside of this.
Mhm.
To me, that's a huge killer feature for those that have done that. A lot of big teams, that have been around for a long time and invested in that kind of thing.
Right.
This allows them to continue to stay true to their brand identity with their marketing
Right.
without worrying about it. As far as the general KW stuff, well, every template in here is a KW template, so it's already following that, right? Like
Right.
I set mine up with KW colors and Kelly blue. I didn't need to do that. All those things are already in here, right? But I did that as an example a long time ago.
Okay.
Okay, so we're done with this. Chris, are you feeling good? Are we good to go ahead and get into a design, or do you want me to give you a
Yeah.
second?
Yeah, we're good. I need to go back and just do the image part, but I can do that later.
Sure. Okay. Good deal. All right. So we decided we're going to do a just listed social post today, right? So I am going to grab. Ooh, which one's popping off the screen to us, guys? I'm going to hold my mouse. Start cheering when you like it. Ooh. Ah. Mm.
No,
Ooh,
I like
oh.
the 10. I like that one. Yes, the one you just clicked on.
This one right here?
Yeah, that looks good.
This one does look really good, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, well, let's make it happen. I'm going to hit use here. And it's going to pull me right into the design. Now, this one's going to be really easy for us, guys, because on here, it's really just giving us the details about the property. There's no headshot in here. There's no contact me. Because we're in a social post, a lot of that information doesn't necessarily need to be in the image because we're going to probably put it, in the post itself. But this is a good starting point for us, right? Now, first thing I want to talk about is changing out text, right? Because the default, we're not selling this 1050 Heather Lane, are we? We're selling something different, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do to change out text is I'm going to come here and I'm going to hold my mouse. And can you guys see that little yellow outline?
No,
No, is that
Yeah.
not coming through the broadcast?
no, I see a sign that's coming up that says more or move or something.
Does it look better when I have it over the black?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So as you move your mouse around the screen, you'll notice that you're basically highlighting different elements on the screen, right? So you got to kind of get used to seeing what those are. So if I see there's just and listed, these are actually two different text elements, right? They're just placed together. So I'm going to change out this text, and I know I've got it selected correctly because when I hold my mouse over it, the yellow box goes just around just the text, right? So I'm going to give it a click. So now I've selected that text, okay? Now, I know it's selected because I now have these little boxes on the, or a little bit of a stronger outline around it, and I have these little like circles and ovals in the corners and sides. Do you guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that means I have this text selected, and I can do a couple of different things here, right? If I pull from the side, right, the little oval, if I hold my mouse over it, you'll notice that the mouse icon changes to two arrows going left and right. That means if I were to click and drag here, I can extend and move that box, right? If I cut in, it'll even make it where the text will wrap.
Right.
Now, if I pull from a corner, right, where the circles are, this will allow me to change the size of the text. And then what we're all really here for, how do I put my address in, Evan? Stop talking about all this crazy stuff. I hear you, right? If I double click, right, so I clicked twice once I had it selected, I now have a cursor right here. You might not be able to see it on the stream. Can you guys kind of see that? So what I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to delete what's there. I'm going to put in 100, 1001 Dorch's House Road. And you'll notice, that's kind of goofy. Well, here's what I can do. I can pull that side out just a little bit, and boom, there it goes. It fits right in.
Right.
So now I've resized it, right? That's why I was talking about that resizing at first, because when you go to replace text in here.
So you don't have to change the font. You can just move the
exactly
square thing around.
Yeah. I don't have to go in there and change it. I can just move the square around and place it where I want and do all that. That's why I brought that up, because when you're replacing text in here, you might be saying more or less than that template originally was made for. So you might have to do a little resizing here and there, or replacing here and there to make it not look goofy, right? Because that'll happen to you sometimes.
Right.
Here we go, 400,000. I'm just gonna come in here and take out that 0 and put in a 5 because Dorch's house. And I'm gonna put here a 1 and a comma because Dorch is a baller out of control, and we gotta make sure people know about it.
That's probably close to the price of my house.
And again, I'm doing a little bit of resizing there to make that fit. Okay, and I'm gonna assume all this information is the same because we got the idea here. This one's a really, really easy design. Now I want to change this photo out, right? And I'm gonna go put mansion, right? Don't worry about this for a moment. I'm just putting this on here just for example's sake.
Okay.
Okay, so now I want to change out that photo. I don't want to use this photo. That's not the photo I want to use. So if I click, it's kind of hard to tell on this particular design, but I have that image selected now. So I can come into images over here on the left-hand side, and by default, I see my library, right? So these are the photos that I might use quite often. They're always available for me right here. In company, there's, all kinds of cool things. They've changed this up a little bit. So there's app images. There's lifestyle at home. There's house types. Oh, fun. They got all kinds of images that I can use. And if I was making a design not about a specific listing, these could come in handy, right? Lots of stock imagery for us to use for free so we can have really awesome photos for our designs. We don't have to go out there and take them or buy them from somebody, right? We can just come in here and use these. But in this case, I want to add a photo, right? I'm advertising my listing. So I'm going to hit the add option at the top left. And here I will see that I have a couple of different options for how I can add an image, right? first off, I can link my Facebook business pages, my Instagram, my Google Drive, my Dropbox, and I can pull images straight from there if I want to. Or I can drag and drop or click to add an image here. And this is Dorch's house, in case anybody was wondering.
That's a close approximation.
Yeah. So now I want to add this image here, right? I want this image to go away, and I want the mansion picture to go right in, okay? Now, if I don't have anything selected, and I just come over here and I hit add, look what happens. Oof. Not good. All right, this is not what we wanted. I'm going to delete that. I want to make sure that I first have what I want to replace selected, right? So I'm going to click on the image. And it's hard to verify in this design because the corners go all the way up. But I do, in fact, have this selected. If I hold my mouse over the image I want to replace it with, I now have these, I see these 4 buttons in here. And I can replace the image, and boom.
Oh.
And mine's getting all weird. Whoa. And I picked a pretty terrible photo for this. I'm just going to go grab one of these here.
Yeah, but that's going to be, if I use that, it's going to be sort of similar to the house we've got. It's going to take up that whole place.
Oh, it's fine. It's just it's a matter of the image I used was not very good. I grabbed one off Google Images, you know. If you're using your professional photos that you got taken, you won't have this problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is what Dorch's house really looks like. And we're going to go with this one here.
Looks like my parents' old place down in Florida in Palm Beach.
Yeah. So for this design, there wasn't a whole lot we had to do here, right? We just got to change the address. We had to make sure these details were correct. We want to make sure we had the right photo. We're pretty much done here, right? So we can go ahead and download this so we can put it on our Facebook.
Oh.
I'm going to take us over here to the top right. And there's a little button here. It's a down arrow, and it has a line. If you hold your mouse over, it'll expand and say download. This is where we're going to want to go. I have several different ways of downloading this image that I've just made. One is get a JPEG, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you're sharing this online, the best way is always get PNG, right? We like our PNG settings. So we click get PNG, and we say, hey, start download. And here's what's going to do. It's going to say, okay, preparing your file. And then all of a sudden, we're going to see it here in just a second. It's still preparing. We can see right here. And then boom, there it goes. Just listed modern, right? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go to Facebook right now. And I'm going to say, hey, I want to add a photo. So I'm just going to grab it right here and drop it in. Uh-oh. I'm going to come here and say, hey, I want to use this photo. Great. And so now my photos, bam, it's right in there. And I can put it whenever post I had. Hey, this is a test for class. Post. So check it out. I have just made that post. Look how good that looks. Bam.
Wow. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
We were going slow just for training purposes. You guys can see how you could rapid fire make one of these in 5 minutes or less. We did not spend that much time on this.
Should we put that on our business page and then share it over to the public feed?
It's entirely up to you how you'd like to do it. It works the same way regardless.
Okay.
So if you want to do it from your business page and share it to your own personal profile, feel free to. Just post on your business page first. It'll work the exact same way what we just did, which was just dragging and dropping it into that post.
Right. Okay.
Question, Evan.
Yes, Mickey.
So,
how are you?
hey, good. So everything, okay, so all these templates are compliant. We don't have to change anything, do anything, because if we put in everything that they ask, we are compliant, correct?
Well, I don't want to answer that question directly because I'm not a licensed broker.
Right, of course.
What I will tell you about social media rules, right, is the one-click rule, right? So that whole everything has to be within one click. There has to be the office information, right? Okay. Now, Dorch was talking about posting on his business page, and here's how you beat that rule, right? Okay. If I go to my business page here, if I make my cover photo in my business page have the office information in it in some way, then I've beaten that rule, because no matter what, when I post, there's always a link at the top, which is go to my business page, and that's one click away, and right in the cover, there's the information about the office, right?
Okay,
So that's how you
good to
beat that
know.
rule. That's how you beat that rule.
Okay, and one more question: when you
Sure.
when you were posting and you said, okay, get PNG. Now the PDF, that's for print, right?
Yeah, PDF is typically going to be what you would use for printing, right? So if you're wanting to share this on social
Okay.
media, I would not recommend using the PDF option, because Facebook is going to treat that as a file for downloading and not an image for viewing, right?
Okay.
It'll be attached.
Okay.
It works kind of the same way in email too, right? Like if I go and put an image into an email, this will work. If I throw a PDF into an email, well, it's a little icon as an attachment, right, that I can download. Right.
Okay.
Same concept there as well.
Okay. Muchas gracias.
Yes. And PDF is good for printing, which we're going to do that here in just a second. We're going to do something a little harder this time. You guys ready?
No.
It just, all right, we're not doing it anymore. Never mind, guys. Benta said no.
No.
That's going to wrap up class today. I appreciate you guys being in here. Feel free.
Evan,
Yes, ma'am, Kim. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, fantastic.
Good. When we go to the harder example, would you one more time explain how you don't have to resize the text? Show me where that little resizing thing is, because that's what I've been struggling with, thinking that I have to
Resizing text.
Resize text. Yeah.
Yeah, and you will have to resize some text. You will have to. So like if I came in here, let's say this was, all right, so I've got this text right here. And let's say this address was actually 123 Main Street, or actually that's not very good. Let's do, maybe it's 14456 Oakswood Drive Plantation Way. Right. So let's get a little extreme here. Right. And let's say I wanted this on one line. Right. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. So I got this selected. Right. Here's how you resize text or change how it's formatted. You can always come up here, right? Like the normal text options that you have and go, oh, I want it to be smaller. Right. You can always do that like you do in Microsoft Word. But one of the cool things you can do in designs is you can drag it from the corner, right? So I had this text selected because I had the whole little outline around it. On the corners, I see these 4 dots. On the left and right side, I see these 2 ovals. And if I drag from a corner, I'm changing the size of the text just by moving it back and forth. Now, if I drag from the side on those little ovals, it won't resize. It just changes the size of the box that it's in, right? So if I wanted to make this where it was all in one line, well, I could pull it out and the text will wrap itself.
Oh.
You see that?
Yes.
Does that answer your question, Kim?
It does. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, let's go for it, bud.
Okay, so I'm gonna just try to show you this. When I pulled the house picture over, it got rid of the black box. It got rid of the white box. It kept, I don't know if you can see any of that. It kept the text, but it got rid of the black and the white overlay, underlay, you know. It just disappeared.
So did you drag it over?
I dragged it over, yes.
Okay. You're not going to want to drag things over in this platform.
Okay.
And so just heads up on that. So what's happened here in your case is that you dragged it over and now it needs to be repositioned. And it needs to be, and this is, I think this is a background. So this is a weird type. I would undo, Chris, real quick on my screen up here, undo what you did by clicking that there. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to assume that my photo was over here on the left that I want to use. What you did was go like that, right? And then look what happened. Oh my God, all the assets are gone.
Oh,
Cool.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. That's not what we want. What we want instead is I want to have the image selected by clicking on that image. And when I hold my mouse over what I want to replace it with, I'll see a little like recycle icon.
Gotcha.
And that will just straight up go, okay, what was there before, now make it look like this, right?
All right.
Because what happens when you drag it is that all of these elements are on layers. Think of like a big sandwich. And when I dragged it over, I actually over covered some of those layers.
Okay.
And because, and this is like a little too much detail for you, but because this image is technically a background, it's designed, it's a little bit different than a regular image. Oh, here it is right here, arrange. So I got it right here and I can go, okay, let's move this backwards.
Gotcha.
Move it forward. Move it backwards. And so now it's kind of, it's kind of going through the sandwich. Send to top or send to back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then real quick, I got caught up there. Just to save that real fast, you just push done.
Say it one more time.
How did you save that again now that we're there? Like what? I missed that because I was.
When I have the image selected.
Yeah, you got your
on
whole
the-
flyer done.
Yeah, there's transform, arrange, duplicate, remove, and lock at the top right.
Uh-huh.
Arrange is the one that we're looking for.
Okay.
And this will allow me to go, okay, and the first option here is layer order, right?
Okay.
And so I can send it backwards, I can send it forwards.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, just as far as saving it in general when you're done with your.
Oh,
flyer.
it's pretty much, to download it. So,
Yeah.
real quick, anything you do on here, it's in the cloud, so it's always saving itself in command in your designs library. When you're ready to publish it or take it out of this system, then you come to the download button at the top right.
Okay.
And you download. And then I always recommend use PNG for things you're going to spread on social media. PNG is just a better quality format for images online. It just is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Thank you.
No, you're good. You got it. Any other questions? I love this class. We're participatory and talking today. I love it. Okay. Let's do something a little harder. Let's get more difficult, right? Because social media posts, that's fun. That's easy. What if we want to make a flyer, right?
Okay.
Let's make a flyer today. All right, so I'm going to back out. I'm going to click the KW button over here. Oh, okay. All right, so Chris, I misspoke a second ago. It looks
good.
like I do have to save it. Which if you go to File, Save, it'll save it. Yep, very good. All right, so I'm going to back all the way out. I'm going to get back into Command real quick. So let's all go back to regular old Command.
What's that?
Where are we going now?
Flyers.
Are we all back in Command? Give me a whoop whoop. Booyah.
Whoop whoop.
They hear whoop whoop from Carol?
Whoop, whoop.
All right.
Woo.
Kim and Mickey, I'm just going to assume you guys are with me still. All right, clicking on designs again.
Okay.
And we're going to make another design. And this time, we're going to attach a listing to it. Please note this is not required, right? Not required at all. Even if I want to use my listing. We just did it for a listing thing for a listing, and we did not attach a listing to it, right? But what we're going to do here is I'm going to click the plus sign. I'm going to go to print because this time we're going to do a flyer. And I want to import photos and text from a listing. This is just a shortcut, right? To be able to quickly get my photos off the MLS, right? And sometimes this feature is not working 100%. If it's not, don't worry about it. It's not required, okay? So I'm going to have that selected. And when I hit next this time, instead of taking me right into the designer, it's going to do this. Oh, choose a listing real quick, right?
Oh, okay.
Dorch, what's that at? What's the actual, actually, you haven't listed yet. Who's got an active listing right now? Kim, Mickey, Dorch?
Yeah.
You want the MLS number?
Give me the property address.
8230 Weichel, W-I-K-L-E Road.
W-I-K-L-E.
L-E-R-D-E. Weichel Road East.
Wait, hold on. Spell that slowly real quick. W.
IKLE space.
Oh, here we go. I think I got it right here. Carol's got it listed, right?
Right, we bet, yeah, co-list.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to select that listing here. And now it's going to pull me in, right? Sometimes you just won't find your listing in there. Every now and again that happens. If that's the case, again, remember, not required at all, right? It's just something that's going to help us out a little bit. So now we are in the print section, and we'll notice it looks pretty darn similar to the social section we were just in. The difference is going to be that instead of seeing Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn up here, we're going to see jumbo postcards, flyers, door hangers, and things that we might print out. These are designs that are meant to be printed, okay? Let's do another just listed, shall we? I'm going to do for sale. And we'll do a regular flyer letter size, something straightforward. And you know what? I'm going to pick it this time. I think this is a slick looking flyer right here. Let's use this one. Okay. So it's going to open this design up. And again, we're looking at what the base template looks like. Okay. But now we've got a lot more things we need to edit because we're not just making something that's simple to put on Facebook. We're doing a whole flyer here, right? So once again, I can change the text that's up here, exceptional and unexpected, right? I can come up here and say, I can take this text and say, this house is freaking awesome. All right. Now, once again, I've got to do a little bit of resizing because it went over the amount. So I'm going to pull that back up a little bit. And then I'm going to take this side out. And hey, now it fits right in there. Okay. I want you guys to point out at me. Pretend that I'm Dortch, right? What do I need to be changing? What's the first thing I need to change? Because we're going to advertise that house on Weichelt Road.
So the address.
The address be the first one, right? So right up here. Okay, we need to change this out. So let's talk about other things under, because we did images earlier, but notice there's also text, icons, and logos over here, right? So we want to change some text out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know what? I don't think, oh, maybe I'm crazy and I've missed something here. Yep. All right, never mind. Don't, I've made a mistake there, guys. Apologies. I'm not going to go to this text section right now, but I am going to come in here and just do what I normally do. Dorch, what's that address?
8230 Weichel Road.
East, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brentwood 37027.
Brentwood, Tennessee
37027.
37027. Okay. Bedrooms, baths?
4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths.
Okay.
What else do you need?
I'm going to ask for square foot and year built in just a second, but I want to point out something. Are you guys having trouble reading the small text here?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little difficult, right?
Yes.
Because we're
especially when you're
we're
69.
zoomed out, right? We're zoomed. Actually, that's funny. Pardon the pun. We're zoomed out. Get it? Oh my God, that's great. So we're looking at the whole design. I want to point out something real quick. Sometimes, especially in the print section, when you're working with things that are much bigger than a social media image, you might have to change how far you're zoomed in, right? At the bottom right here, we're looking at a little zoom out and zoom in button. And then we're also seeing a custom, oh, how much do I want to get in there? So I can zoom in real close to it, right? And now, does that all of a sudden read a whole lot better? I
Yeah.
can see what I'm doing a little more, right? So, Dorf, what's that square foot?
That's a good question. It's 4240.
4240. And then what year was it built?
Somewhere
I'm quizzing you
between
today.
somewhere between 1799 and 1840. Let's use
1840.
1840.
1840.
Are you serious right now? That's awesome.
It's the original
Yeah.
Brentwood house.
New construction home right here we got going on.
Yeah, new construction. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. So now that I can zoom back out now by hitting that little icon there. Gonna come back out just a little bit more so I can see what I'm doing. But sometimes when that text gets a little small, it's because you're zoomed out. So you want to zoom in a little bit and get a little closer to it, okay? All right, what else we got to change here, guys? You guys are driving me.
How about listed? How about the next text in the bottom where it says listed?
Let's go ahead and just wrap up the rest of the text. Okay, what's that price?
$929.
That's actually really close. How about that? All right.
And then
And
I
then-
can't read what's below that.
We'll just pretend this section is all good.
Okay.
Right. All right. Okay. But we got agent name. Oh, we got to change that out because that's not my name. We're going to say Dorch Oldham. All right. Contact details, download my app, yada, 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 all that stuff. Let's just say all that's good. Okay. What's next?
My picture.
Your picture. This one's really easy to do, guys. Okay. Perfect. So let's select the photo. And once again, like what we talked with Chris earlier, we're not going to drag it over because that's gonna mess us up a little bit. But if we're going to images in my library, you should have your headshots in there, right? This is why your headshot being in library is so useful. You don't have to keep uploading your headshot. It's just here. So I have that selected. I know I do because I have the icons, right? And I come over to my photo and I hit replace image and booyah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
There's my headshot.
And so
Right.
it automatically fits into wherever it goes in. It doesn't.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. On this one, we also got a logo. Uh-oh. I'm going to zoom in on this one, right? So you guys can see this. All right. Now, again, this one's a little trickier because look how my mouse, do you guys see the yellow now?
Yeah.
Right? So this is where I'm selecting what it is. But notice how there's like, right? If I want to get directly over, I want to click when I know for a fact that yellow outline is just around what I want to replace. Right? So I can click here now because I see that yellow outline and go, boom. Great. We're good, we're good, we're good. Now this is a logo type. So instead of going to images, I'm going to go to logos. And I'm going to come in and go, okay, I want to replace it with, well, this one's got the same color and theme as the other one does, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use it with that. Now, replacing logos always does this to me, right? It put it down here. No big deal. I can click and drag and move it right back up.
So when you click, do you just click once each time you want to get the yellow box to change? Like you click in here and it does the whole box. You click on KW and then it'll just make that little box.
I'm gonna detail out each step. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm holding my mouse over. I'm getting to the point. I'm not clicking on anything yet. I'm just moving my mouse until I see the yellow the little yellow outline around exactly what I want to select. Once I have that yellow outline where I want it, I'm going to click. I know I've clicked correctly because boom, I got my little dots in the corners, right? So that's good. Now, this is a logo, not an image, right? They actually are treated differently in this system. Logos and images are treated differently. So instead of going to images, I'm going to come right over to logos, and I have all my KW logos in my library. That's good, right? And in my case, I have, the dark one, the white one, and the red one, right? So I'm looking over here, and I'm seeing this design is using the red KW with the gray. I want to use the same one, right? So I come over, and I hold my mouse over this one. This one matches that. And when I hold my mouse over it, I see two little icons, add logo and replace logo. I want to replace this logo with that one. I don't want to just add another one. So I'm going to hit replace logo. And now you see what's happened here. The old logo is gone and the good logo is in. But one of the things about logos in this system, and this is something they're going to fix at some point, is that it puts it in here like this, and now it's not in the right spot, all right? So all I have to do, I'm not dragging from the corners or anything. If I hold my mouse right in the middle of this, you see how the mouse cursor is now 4 arrows? You guys see that?
Yeah.
What that means is if I click and drag now, it's not changing the size or anything like that. All it's doing is repositioning. So if I click and hold here and go up, the logo is staying the same size. It's just changing where it's located.
Evan,
Yes, ma'am.
if I wanted to, could I then take that whole completed white box logo, each office, and move it?
Yeah, you can select multiple things. That's a good question. Okay, so Kim, what you're asking is you want to move this, and that little text, right?
All of it, correct.
All of it. Okay. So 2 ways to do that. One way is to move them all one at a time. And yes, you could do that, right? But let me do something a little bit easier. Let's kind of zoom out just a wee bit. Where'd it go? Here we are. Okay. You okay? All right. So first I'm going to select this. Notice how even though I have this selected, I still get those little yellow outlines. If I hold shift down and click again, now I've selected multiple things. And then I'm going to hold shift and click that. Now I have all 3 of them selected. And I can move all 3 of them together.
That's brilliant. So do you hold the shift key down and click, 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 or do you let up each time?
Either one works just fine.
Great.
One
Oh
moment.
man, this is like Christmas.
All right. So Kim, what you were saying there was, do you hold shift down the whole time? As long as you're holding shift when you click, it'll continue to add more selections.
Love it.
Right. So if I click here, hold shift, I can select multiple things. Look at that. I can even come over here. And now I'm moving both of those 2. A little goofy, huh? So I can click it there, selected, hold shift, click there, and then I click all 3, and I can move them all together.
Thank you.
Of course. What the heck? I thought I got rid of that already. All right, there we go. All right. Now, here we go. Perfect. So, I wonder why it's not letting me do that thing. So now let's get some photos from the listing. So I'm going to click on this photo, this first one right here. Are you guys all with me?
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
So I can go into images and add the photos like I did before, right? But what I can also do is I noticed that there's this little new option here called KWLS. Do you guys see that?
Oh. So once I load it on the Keller Williams, I can go over to my Keller Williams listing page and bring in the photos from there.
Yeah, and look how here, we already have the listing right here. Now, in your case, for whatever reason, the photos didn't come through.
Because
Right, so
I haven't put it, because it's a coming soon and I haven't put it on.
Oh, okay. Well, if we had photos, then, okay, gotcha. So if you had photos in the MLS, then you would see those photos here.
Okay, but only at the KWLS, not the MLS, right?
Well, the KWLS pulls it from
the MLS. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
You'll see your MLS photos in here. So I didn't pick a good one for this one, but you guys get the example. It works the exact same way. You'll see those photos in there. You'll be able to replace them.
oh, really?
It worked really well for me the other day.
Good.
Let me go put it on the video.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna use that this
It is pretty.
Wonder if I can. No, it's already connected. In the listing details too, guys, there's also this right here, all the different, so this stuff he does have on here. Schools, maybe bedrooms and baths, how much living area, year built, price point, all that good stuff. All from the MLS.
So
Okay,
Evan,
so
can you click
yes.
on the text in the template and then click on the address and it'll replace it
Mhm.
without retyping?
Yeah, and depending on what design you're in, that can be tricky, right?
Okay.
So when I select this text here, this is the full street address. If I come over here on the left-hand side now, and I just put in single family, oh, that didn't work, right? Or I can come in here and put the whole address just like that.
I love it.
If I want to change the price out, so this one says listed at a certain amount. So when I replace it, it's going to get rid of listed at, right? So I have to add that back in, but I did put the price in automatically. Has security system, right? Oh, here we go. Perfect. So I add the MLS remarks. So this is right from Dorta's MLS remarks.
Carol's MLS remark.
Or yeah, Carol's, excuse me. My apologies. Did everybody see that? Me pulling the details from the MLS onto this design. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to talk about downloading something for print. Okay, so we're still going to come over here to this top right where the download function is, right? We're going to click that. And instead of JPEG, instead of PNG, we're going to get PDF. And it's going to have us give, it's going to have two qualities here, right? Now, if I just want to send this in an email, I would use standard web quality, right? That's all that's needed for an email. But if I want to actually send this to a printer and print this thing out, whether it's a postcard, door hanger, flyer, whatever it is, always make sure you're using high resolution print quality, right? The reason that is that your computer screen needs a certain amount of information, right? And a certain number of pixels to make that image happen. A printer needs a lot more, right? So something that might be standard web quality may print okay, or it might come out a little blurry. But if we use that high resolution print quality, it'll be a bigger file and it'll print a lot more sharper when you actually go to print it. And then you should start download and the same thing works. So we got preparing, 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 preparing. And preparing, preparing, preparing. And boom, download ready. And here it is. Here's our finished design. Boom, ready to be printed.
Oh,
So we can just carry that to the printer in like on a thumb drive or something.
Well, if you got a, no, you just come right here and hit print.
Oh, I could print it on my, you mean I could print it myself if I wanted to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or you could email this to a printer, right? Like if you
Okay.
had someone who was printing it for you. For a
Well,
flyer.
I'm thinking if you want it on heavier paper or something.
Yeah, if you wanted to go, yeah, if you wanted to go print it at Office Depot or something like that, then yeah, you could. They actually have like ways for you to email it to those printers,
Okay.
Or you can bring it on a thumb drive. They got multiple ways you can do it at those places. Okay, so I know we've probably got to have some. Let's do a last round of questions before we wrap up for the day. What you guys got? Hit me.
That's hope I can remember all this. I'm still, my laptop is so slow, I'm still loading stuff.
Hey, it's fine. Remember, we teach this class every month. And also, if you need additional assistance for something that you're doing, you can always book one-on-one time with me at my website, evanransom.youcanbook.me. I'll put that link right here in our chat for us.
Okay.
And we can just do all this visual, I mean, like over Zoom or whatever, FaceTime or.
Yeah. When you book an appointment with me while we're in the virtual office, I'll send you a Zoom link when it's time for our appointment.
Okay. Because I was
Or-
thinking I could watch you on this and actually work on my faster computer.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Um,
So I put that link in the chat for everybody. Feel free to go to that website and you can bookmark it, and you can come here if you want to have a 30-minute tech session or an hour tech session, right? Feel free to hit the booking button, and this will give you my times that are available. And all you got to do is just click one of them, and this is ones I'm free. And if you book your appointment in there, all you got to do is tell me your name, email, phone number, and a brief description of what your appointment is concerning. And once you hit confirm booking, it'll put it on your calendar and mine, and it'll be confirmed.
Great.
Evan, on that previous design,
Uh-huh.
what I've sometimes run into is I love the designs, but my photos aren't perfectly positioned to fit into the kind of jagged frame and all that.
Mhm. Okay.
Is there
Yeah.
a way to do that?
Absolutely. So what you're looking to do is reposition, right? So let's say this photo, right? I'll make sure I get the right one. I'll do this one right here. Okay. That actually looks really good. Let's do this one. So this photo right here, let's say you wanted to get him fully in the frame, right? You didn't want him to be cut off. So I have this selected, and I can select reposition, and this will allow me to change kind of where that is. And then I can hit done, and now it's fitting in the frame still, but I've just moved where in the frame it's sitting.
Lovely. Yay.
And on weird designs like this, you're going to run into that, right? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't, like the center of the photo isn't quite the perfect spot for that frame, right? So you would just reposition it, change it out, and go, hey, I don't want that guy in there at all.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect, of course. Any other questions?
Thank you, Evan. Good class.
Hey, thank you, Dorch. I appreciate you being here with me. And thank you, Carol.
I'll be in touch. Thanks, brother.
Take care, bud.
Thank you so much, Evan.
Thank you,
Thanks
Binta.
Thanks, Evan.
Thank you, Carol. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Take
Hey,
care.
Evan, do you have time
Yes.
for one more question? I'm so
I sure
sorry.
do. No, I sure do.
So way back at the beginning of the class, I missed the first little bit. And when
Okay.
you were entering the details of your personal information,
Uh-huh.
so on my page, and I can't get back to it, I don't remember where it is, but
Okay.
it had that really long www Kimberly -Beal agent something something.
Okay.
Should that be my new Keller Williams website?
Is that not your Keller Williams website?
It is not. That is something from a long time ago.
Okay.
And so I should go back to that, put my new Keller Williams
Sure.
website in.
Okay, here's what you're gonna do, okay? So I'm in designs, and I've decided I was gonna do a print piece, right? And the library button's the same on both, right? So I'm on that screen where I'm picking out a template that I want to create with. There's this little button right here, library. And then here's where those details are that you can edit.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely.
I appreciate you, Evan. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Take care. All right, guys. But did you have anything else?
No, just a quick question, Evan. Is there any way I could get a recording of this class? I like to kind of follow. To see
Yeah,
how-
absolutely. So it'll be on the Facebook group, and it'll be on our YouTube channel as well.
Okay, that's great, because I went online yesterday. I kind of almost did exactly what you're doing,
Uh-huh.
what you did in the classes, because I like to kind of figure things out by myself. That way I don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
So where I stopped, that was where you kind of started. So that it was a great class today.
Perfect. Thank you, Binta. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Evan.
All right. Have a good day.
You too, bye.